We don't know what lies ahead, where we're going or why. We want to understand why we're here and what it all means. We have a deep longing to make sense of it all. We talked with some spiritual leaders who shared with us their explorations into these mysteries.
Above all else, life feels like a mystery to me. It feels like we're here, we don't know why we're here, we don't know what this is, we don't know what death is.
Looking into the deep and inherent spiritual needs of the psyche, we can find the same feelings, urges, and inclinations that have been expressed through the centuries in the essential religious experiences of humankind.
At the center of every single spiritual tradition, you find what gets called mystics or Gnostics. And these are people who have gone right to the deep heart of that particular tradition. And what fascinates me is that what they describe seems to be a universal human experience.
The mystical journey is the heart essence of all religions, and then, but it can be outside of a specific religious tradition as well. But usually it's been in the core, the center, and the essence of each tradition. That's to me what's the mystical path.
By going into that mystery, there are deep experiential answers. So that as you pay attention to the mystery, consciousness becomes transformed and you enter into, paradoxically, a state of deep knowing. So in the ancient West, that would be called gnosis. If you go to the East, it's called gnana. It has various names. But there's this knowing before words.
Things that are unspeakable, you see, are mysteries. No words can explain it. No words can justify what we mean by mystical experience.
So to understand what mysticism is, you need to go before the cultural differences and go down to what is the experience itself. And when you do that, what's fascinating is people seem to be describing the same thing.
I think mysticism is really the inner experience of the divine or of truth or reality that we come to know inside ourselves. And the mystical path is, to me, means in whatever tradition it is, it's really the path of deep interior life that leads one into or establishes a ground for mystical communion or for the process of awakening.
For me, it means having direct experience with divine truth. A direct experience, let's say, with God or divine beings or divine realms or that sort of thing.
Let's just settle for mystical knowledge of God as experiential knowledge of God. In other words, not just textbook knowledge or seminary phrases you've been taught, but something you really have experienced. And when people speak from true experience of transcendence or the divine or God, it's a very, very different way of speaking.
The true goal of the mystic quest is to achieve a state of union or a conscious connection with a loving inner presence.
There is a human experience which could be called awakening, a transformation of your state of consciousness, and then people describe it in the language they have available.
This is a newly awakened state of connection that creates a transformed awareness in us.
The essence of all religious traditions came from awakened mind. Or we would maybe say Christian or Abraham tradition terms like came from God or from the Holy Spirit.
In this state, the divine is not merely perceived and enjoyed by the self as an illuminating insight, but rather it merges with the self and becomes one with it.